I'm Draken and this is the DrakenWerks, and today we start off at the end, or rather in the end dimension here, picking up some end stone here. Now the end dimension is not somewhere where I've actually got a lot of experience. I know I've said this on previous videos, say that I don't come out here very often. Not that there's a lot to get out of the end other than the Ender Dragon and everything else, but there is one thing that's available here, and other than the end stone that I was after, it's this stuff. It's the chorus plants, because there's a lot of good uses that you can put the chorus plants to. Well, I won't say a lot, there's a couple of good uses, but you can only get it from chorus plants. So I thought I'd come out here and go and get some chorus seeds, so the flowers themselves, without trying to disturb the Enderman. And it's always a little bit difficult because you've got to look up to mine, but you don't want to be looking at the Enderman when you're out there. So I got myself a few of those and some endstone, and if you haven't worked it out already, then the reason that I went out there was to build a chorus farm. So I started off building here, and I've never built a chorus farm before. Never done it before. So I went and did a bit of digging around and researching everything, and I saw a few designs out there. There's one by Cubfan that he did, which is like in a sort of cross pattern. And there's an older one that was also done by Mumbo. I don't know if it was older than Cubfan's design, but he did one as well, Mumbo Jumbo, on Season 6 of Hermitcraft. When I looked up in the end, I decided I wasn't going to copy either of those exactly, but I took a bit of inspiration from both those designs and then came up with the design that you see here. So there's a bit of my own design and twist on it. So what you've got here is water dispensers that will be used to then break the chorus plants, but they then wash all the stuff over into the side little channels that you can see there, so they can be collected up by hoppers, so the chorus fruit is there, so you don't have to run around grabbing all the chorus fruit after you break it. And as you can see on the left, we have the nursery sort of side, so that's where we build up our sort of chorus seeds. Doesn't actually quite produce enough to fill the entire farm, it nearly does, so you just grab a couple of the low-hanging ones from the other side as well, and then you can activate the water and it washes it all down. And this time lapse that you're seeing here, this is going to be the first of the two time lapses actually on this video today. This time lapse you're seeing in front of us, didn't quite get it to the end. I've missed recording the very final part of the time lapse here, but we'll get to have a look at the building in a second as well when we go and shove the old shaders on and take a proper look at the farm itself. But in the end I was quite happy with how it turned out. It's a nice addition to our little industrial region here, right next to all the tree farms. And yes, this is the finished build with it shell around it. There's like windows at the side there, big roof at the top, and as we come into here we've got steps going down that takes us to the mechanisms, but up here then you've got the actual chorus farm itself. I like the fact that we've got these little windows here that look into the farm itself, so it's almost like it's this sort of separate bay that we can work within. And then you've got doors that lead into that area. At the end of each of those water channels, because people keep falling in there, I put a couple of ladders, so it's not a problem getting in and out of here if you fall into the wrong part of it. It doesn't cause that much of an issue. And then downstairs here we've got the button that activates the water. I probably would have liked to have that at the top so you can actually see the water breaking away. So if I was to redo this, I'd probably reposition the button. But then you've got the chests there which collect all the chorus fruit. And the other thing I didn't capture on a time lapse here, but I thought I'd quickly show here, is I built a 5th tree farm. So we've got 4 tree farm buildings here, and this is the 5th one we built here, just tucked in behind here, behind the spruce tree farm and the behind the chorus farm there. It's only got 2 planting bays, but this one is for dark oak, so it has the sort of 2x2 spaces for planting for them, but it has the seeding height adjusted differently to what it is on the spruce farm. Coming over to the shopping district here, I thought, first of all, have a look at this. This is a gorgeous build up here. So I came over to the shopping district, and this last week we've seen this spring up. This is a design by Shelly and Mighty. They are working on building a bank. I'm not doing any spoilers here because Shelly has already shown this on her video. The work so far. It's not complete, but she has shown the progress so far. Not quite sure why there's a saw out in the back there. Is that for people who don't pay up on their debts? Do they bring them out here and threaten them with a saw at the back there, I wonder? But yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful build. Absolutely gorgeous build. And the other thing you may remember we had last week was we had an order from Gray as well. And as you may remember, or you may have seen on there, he wanted a Pink Airship. So in order to get that, then we needed pink blocks. So guess why we needed the chorus farm. But also while we were over in town, we actually came back and forth to town a couple of times this week and checked in on our diamonds as well. As you remember, we had a bit of a drought until last week, and then last week it suddenly just came raining down again on top of us with the amount of diamonds we received last week. And Okay, this last week hasn't been quite as good as the week previous, but it's still been pretty good. I mean, in comparison to how weeks normally go from sales in my shop and everything else, there's probably a good couple of stacks of diamonds I've made this week, which is quite nice from the shops. Quite nice to see that, and including seeing some of the shops there that I thought might not be selling at the moment. I think the only shop that didn't sell this week was probably the kelp farm, but that's pretty brand new, and it's sort of more of a fuel basis. It's something I would expect people to come along and buy large quantities of when they need it, and then most of the other time you wouldn't normally touch it, but it's there for people as they need it, you know. And I also, you know, I'm not wanting to turn around just keep hold of the diamonds. I do like to also spread a bit around the economy as well and go buy some stuff. I needed some prismarine bricks. I needed that for a project that was coming out very, very shortly that you'll see in a minute on the video. And also we needed a few other things in and around the town, so I don't mind dropping a bit of coin into other shops. As you can see, we actually came back a couple of times this week to Beard's shop here because we needed a few irons. We've had quite a number of block of irons before in the past, and building an iron farm is something I wouldn't mind doing. It's on my list. It's one of the few things left on my list to do in terms of farms that I wanted to build in this season, and I still got to do that. But at the moment, I don't mind actually. There's a couple of iron stores on the server, so dropping a few bits of diamond into the iron stores there keeps the economy going. It's not expensive, you know, and it helps keep others going as well. So yeah, it's not a problem. Also bought some blaze rods because, as you've seen, we've got purple now. You know, well, we got the chorus fruit, so we can now make end rods if we got blaze rods to go with it. So we don't have a blaze farm myself, but yeah, buying blaze rods helps us out there. And even here in the little trash store that's run by Evil and Anvil, we have I found a stack of redstone dust cheaper than the normal market price for 1 diamond for the stack. So it was like, yeah, better grab that because normally it's a bit more expensive down in Mighty High's redstone store to buy redstone from there. So I grabbed that while I could. But yeah, we had the iron there as well. But then after all that, I came back to my base and I had organised a load of gear, and I decided to take all my stuff off here for a bit of a strange purpose here, load it all up into shulkers, and then also to go and pop all the shulkers into my end chest here. And that's because, as you saw a bit earlier on, we had an order from Gray, and Gray wanted an airship. And he had specific designs or specific ideas for what he wanted with the airship. So the actual ship he was after was a Falcon class, which is, remember, it was a recent design that we've done. It's the military larger airship that we have currently on our books. But he wanted it built in a very specific location along with a very specific colour scheme. So because of the colour scheme, it's why we've had to build the new chorus farm. That's why we built it, but it has actually opened up other options and opportunities for us now that we've built the chorus farm. But the actual location itself, well, that's a little bit more special. So the quickest way to get to that location from my base isn't through the Nether or flying there direct. Instead, it's easier just to take all your stuff off, pop it in an ender chest, and then just be free for a moment. And very quickly, you end up teleported straight to here. That's right, it's spawn. It's where we all start at the very beginning. And this is where he wanted his new airship built. So I need to decide where we want to build it. And I had a look around, but most places are blocked lines of sight by trees. So I thought just putting it over the bridge might be the best location to be able to actually put it. So here's a time lapse. The Macabre. That's what he decided to name this vessel, which is such an ironic name considering it is a pink hot rod of a ship. So he's got this like pink with blue highlight design and everything else. Obviously we can't get blue blocks that have steps and stuff like that, so we went with prismarine at the bottom there. But yeah, and in addition to that order, we also had an order come through from Shelley as well, requesting an airship over at her new base, and she wants that done quickly. This came in at the end of the week, so we're not going to do it on this video, but I will get to do that soon, so you look out for that in the next video, because I'll be cracking straight on with that very soon as well. So it's nice to see the orders coming through to the shipyard at long last. It's quite nice, actually. That's 2 orders through the shipyard, and it's one of those things that when the orders come through, they're obviously quite costly orders, so they're very nice and profitable as well. But also over here, if we look in here, you may remember this is the upstairs of our starter base, but we've actually been up here and actually done some work on it. We've actually, since like the beginning of, since we started, this floor has actually just been sat empty, and I decided it's about time we actually put some stuff up here. And so what I did was I put some like little display pieces here, some sort of things that we killed. This is weird. We have a slime head that has a person's face on it. It's listed as a slime head. It sort of changed when I put it down. It wasn't looking like that before I put it down. Really odd, but I thought I'd keep it because it was just such a weird coincidence. We've got some gems over this side as well, and we've created basically a little bit of a meeting room up here with ourselves with our nice little sort of ornate chair here at the end of the desk. And the reason I was inspired to get this done and build the chandeliers above and everything else like that, because if you remember last week, we sent out invites to the rest of the collective to come and join us. So let's go and check out how that went.
Whoa.
Dude, this place is huge.
Cool.
Look at all the
Draken's
shit.
been doing some work. Oh, yeah. It's all like foggy for me, so it looks even bigger, like all of the foggy silhouettes.
That's crazy.
Dude.
Hey, Draken. How you
Hey
doing?
guys, how you
Hey.
doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Dragon Spire. To put on an epic voice.
This is very awe-inspiring, dude.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
feel like I've done nothing. Oh.
Well, I've done a little bit of building since I joined the server a little while ago.
A little bit,
just,
yeah.
Just a bit.
Tiny smidge.
Well, if you want to come through this way, I'll lead you through the spire itself. And I've got ourselves a little room to go and meet up in, actually, as well. So we can sit down and have a bit of a chat, and then I'll show you some of the stuff that we've got around here. But yeah, this is the main sort of room that's still under work. You can see the tower at the top there, still got a bit of work at the top there. But it's under construction at the moment. And then we're coming through to my starter base. So this is the first base I built on the server, which is actually connected.
Now this place I've been.
Yes, but I've changed the upstairs.
Ooh, this is
So
Jeez.
come and grab a
This is
seat.
beautiful, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
these are my favorite chairs. They're so silly.
I'll sit over here just so we're a bit even.
Easy.
Before we start, presents.
Yeah.
So those are gifts for you both. They are
Okay.
samples. Yeah, they are samples of some of the stuff that we build here in the Dragon Spire. That might be of benefit to the
Alright.
collective. This idea of the collective. And the reason I invited you
Yeah.
both here was I thought, well, we should really do a bit more discussing about what we want to do with this collective idea.
You know, there's a lot of stuff that we can definitely do together to help the 3 of us,
Mhm.
for sure. But there's a lot of other small businesses out there that could use some assistance as well.
I agree with that. I like the idea of. I recently came into a lot of diamonds. Someone has been spending been on a big spending spree in my shops. I was sort of thinking, is there something we could do to help the smaller businesses out a bit? So I'm thinking about, could we do some sort of grant scheme or something? You think for smaller businesses? Some way which we help them out a bit and give them resources and materials to get them started, especially if they're doing something that they're trying to compete in a field that a bigger business is already competing in.
Yeah, that sounds like a decent idea.
I'd be curious how that would work out as far as a grant goes, because that's usually you go if you need diamonds you would get a loan, but a grant seems like it's a here you go, here's some diamonds.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
return.
But for smaller business only, not for the big businesses. So
Okay.
only for like small independent businesses, and obviously they've got to show that they've got a viable plan, that they're not just wanting diamonds for the sake of diamonds. And it might not just be diamonds. Maybe it's resources. Maybe they need help building a shop, or maybe they need certain types of resources to design the shop itself or help getting the farms built that needed to actually get them started.
Sure.
That was
That
my
sounds like a great idea.
Cool. The other idea is... Oh, go on.
We also probably need a spot that belongs to us for us to meet up. Because as much as I love traveling to Dragon Spire, this is a bit out of the way.
It is a bit off the beaten path, I can understand.
And last time I was over here, I did die. It was very scary in the Nether, and I'd prefer not having to fly.
The Nether route here is very, very dangerous, so yeah.
I mean, I can start looking around town, like downtown or shopping district or wherever, and see if I can find us a suitable plot.
Yeah,
That
we're
sounds like a
talking like for a headquarters style building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But maybe
I like
not something like a skyscraper or anything else like that. I mean, there's already a couple of skyscrapers. That sounds very big business corporate, and we're not trying to be that. We're trying to be here for the people, aren't we?
Yeah, well, like in small towns, there's like little places that are nestled on Main Street downtown that are specifically for work and the growth of a small town. So it would be kind of like one of those buildings.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, I like it.
I like the idea. Yeah, so it sounds like that's one of our next order of businesses is to build a new office.
Yeah, I can definitely get started on that here pretty soon.
Okay, I've also got another offer I was going to put out to you guys as well. You guys might be aware that I own Diamond Land, which is like a little bric-a-brac store. So you can sell all sorts of odd bits and pieces. And I've noticed that a couple of the items I've got in there are actually being duplicated by you guys. I got some dyes in there and I got some wools. So what I'll do is I'll take those out so that we're not competing against each other directly. But I was going to say I've got a couple of spare barrels in there as well. So if you guys have anything that's like something that's a bit of a sort of loose end item that you might want to sell for a short period of time or something like that, I was going to say if you guys wanted to borrow some shelf space, then that's an option as well that's viable through Diamond Land if you wanted.
Oh yeah, I've got some random bits I could get rid of.
That is an interesting idea. I know you have name tags in there.
I do, and I've got to secure a more permanent source for that.
Somebody may or may not be buying you out a lot for a project that she can't mention yet.
Well, I do have a source of name tags, so it is possible that I can help continue to stock that. As far as what I would necessarily put in there, otherwise I would have to think about it. But yeah, you know, another idea, because this is something that I was thinking about doing at the at my shop was, you know, I'm selling wool right now. I was also thinking about selling lanterns and bookshelves and stuff for like interior design, but I don't want to do interior design, and I don't know if there is like anyone who does interior design as a service but could forward that over to, you're into interior design?
Me.
So yeah, I mean, as far as shops like helping one another, like if I'm selling, you know, lanterns and chains and bookshelves and stuff, send them over to LadyBex's way.
That's a good plan. I mean,
yeah,
we can think of more ways in which to sort of join together the businesses a bit and help each other out, direct people in the right direction to each other.
Yeah. Well, you have like a lot of farms and a lot of products and stuff. I happen to own a half-completed honey farm. I was going into a business with Quirky Squid, and as we all know, Quirky Squid is incredibly busy all the time and takes on way too many projects. And he's given me the go-ahead to try and complete it with somebody else who's a bit more knowledgeable in redstone than I am.
Well, I could
even
take a
have
look at
a
it,
shop.
definitely.
I may or may not have a shop that has been built for many months and is hidden away in a very inconspicuous spot that nobody knows about.
Couldn't think where that might be. But yeah, no, I can have a look at the farm for you. That's not a problem. I've been wanting to have a look at these anyway for a while, so it'll give me a good excuse to go and do some research and a new project or something brand new to look at. So yeah, why not?
All right. Cool.
Yeah, so if you could show us that one, that'll be awesome. We'll take a look and sometime in the next week or two and see if we can get something going there. If you guys also both want to get involved. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in there, because I know you like building farms as well.
No. By all means. I've got some other stuff going on.
I think he's got his hands full with the flower farm I gifted him.
Well, I think this has been quite a nice, successful little meeting to start off here.
Yeah.
So we've
Absolutely.
covered getting a new building, and we've talked about setting up getting some honey farms up and running and doing some cross connections and everything else. Did you guys want to come and see what we actually have here? Have a quick tour around the place?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure, okay. At this point, we went off to go and show them a tour of the base. I'm not going to put that up ourselves on here because you guys have probably seen all of this stuff, but you might see it on some of their videos, so go and definitely check out LadyBex's and AMightyBeard's videos. But there was one thing during that tour that did crop up that I thought I would show you as well here.
Wonderful.
And then behind there,
Collective open up a wood shop?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask, but at the same time, it's like, this would require a bit of grinding.
That's all right. It's not too bad.
So, the thing that we need to keep in mind as well, and I guess we should pitch together, like, obviously, like a tree farm, a tree shop rather makes a lick of sense. Like that is definitely something we should do. But at the same time, like, it shouldn't just be on Draken because you've got the farm. Like, maybe this is something that we can all come and help supply the shop for.
That's a good idea. That way it's not such a grind, because if you've got 3 of you restocking it, then yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
But you guys, I think you guys have got some form of farms, haven't you? At least I know AMightyBeard, you've got some, haven't you? An outdoor tree farm of some description.
Yeah, very, very minimal. It does what I need as far as getting supplies for my builds, but
and last time I was over at yours, Beck, I do remember seeing a bunch of trees in a row. I think that counts as a farm.
You say so.
Yeah, yeah,
like
I've been
B-dubs. I don't do the redstone.
The tree farm over at LadyBex's, I have spent some time over there getting oak. So a ton of oak. We've got a lot of oak.
We also have
a lot
a
of
ton of birch. We have just an
Awesome.
ungodly amount of birch.
Well, spruce here is really easy to mine using this tree farm here as well. So you guys are more than welcome to use the farms here as well if you wanted to at any time if I'm not on. Otherwise, I'm quite happy to be using them as well. But this one is pretty easy to use. The spruce, you harvest up spruce like nobody's business using that farm. It's pretty handy.
Sure.
And there we have it. So the collective is starting to get some ideas together. We're going to have LadyBex look for a place to actually set up our headquarters, and we've got some ideas for getting honey farms up and running, and also turning around and maybe building a wood shop in the future, and also doing some grants and stuff. So that's going to be awesome for small businesses. So that's kind of the sort of stuff I wanted to get involved in, and this is awesome. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm Draken, this is the DrakenWerks. Don't forget to leave a like if you've enjoyed this and to leave a comment as well. And we'll catch you again soon. And don't forget to check out the other guys' videos.